Hello everyone, how is it going? As promised in the last video, we will be discussing about port mapping in this particular tutorial. So in case you don't know the importance of port, no worries. First of all, I will be explaining you what is port and why is it so important that you need to learn it right away. And after that, I will tell you how to do port mapping with respect to Docker containers. So as a refresher, let's write Docker PS. Now Docker PS not only gives us the container ID, the image that we are running, the name of it, but it also mentions the port that we are using to communicate. Now let's get back to the history of computer. Computer was invented in generally to use its high computation power and to send large packets of data. So in the first case when computers were invented, it was meant that two computers in the network was meant to communicate with each other. The problem arose when a lot of computers got into the system. So initially, say whenever we wanted to transfer data pack, we would just say send, and the send command meant the data pack from host to client will be sent. But when a lot of computers got into the network, it became confusing, and that's when we needed port. So we used the port numbers in our host machines to communicate which particular machine in the network should receive the data packs. So let's say the host machine 6000 port got connected with computer 1 and the host machine's port number 6001 got connected to our computer number 2. Whenever we used to send data packs from 6001, it would reach computer 2, and whenever we used to send data packs from 6000, it would reach computer 1. I hope you got the clarity about why do we need port and what is port mapping in terms of computer network. Now let's use this concept and run a particular container with the corresponding port. So if you want to spin up any particular container and specify the port that it should listen to, how do you do that? So you do docker run -p and then you write the host machine's port that you want to connect to the container's port. So over here we use the port 6000 as mentioned over here. 6000 is for your local host's port number that you want to connect, and 80 is the corresponding port of the receiving machine. So over here 6000 is for our laptop and 80 is for the container that we want to work around, and then we write the name of the container. So as you can see that it has started running and it has connected the port numbers. Now if you want to see if it has actually worked, you write docker ps and you can see that the container that we have just spun up 8 seconds ago is using the port number 6000 for the local host and it is connecting to the port number 80. Now let's understand with the help of this particular diagram to make the meaning more clear. So our host, that is the particular laptop that you are using, is having the host port number 6000 and it is connecting to the container port of 80, meaning the host 6000 is connected to our container that says with this particular name. So whenever we want to send data pack to the Zendoical Chom, it will be using host port 6000. And but what if we want to use the same host port number? Can we do it again? Meaning if you want to say like from port 6000, can I send to two different containers? I would say no, but let's check it from here as well. As you can see, it gives us an error response from the daemon, and it also says that already the port 6000 is binded. So since the port is already allocated, it cannot send same data packs to different port. It will only send a data pack from port 6000 to this particular container. Now what if we want to use the port 80 and send different packets to different containers? How do we do that? So to do that, let's change our port number for the host to 6001. So when you do that, what happens? As you can see, the port 6001 is connected to silly Hofstadter. Now how does this thing actually work? So our host machine will be working like as it already works. We are allocating two ports, port number 6000 to this particular container and port number 6001 to the container which is named silly Hofstadter. So summarizing the entire process, when we run a container, we get a port number assigned to it. Basically, the port where container is already listening. Two containers can run on the same port number, but it can never have two hosts having the same port number. So I hope you got clarity about the entire port mapping process. In case you are curious and you want to explore further, make sure to hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss an update on the next video. Thanks a lot for watching and bye bye.